Hi everybody, it's your buddy Brad here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the uh, Collideoscope variation. This variation was created by Michael Faber, um, and we're going to take a quick look at this information here by Rick Sidwell. Um, as it says here, it divides the top and bottom halves of the flame into numb wedges. Each then rotates each wedge according to the A fraction of a complete rotation. The part rotated off the edge is cycled back to the other side. Adjacent wedges rotate opposite directions. Um, and as you can see here, he explains, gives two examples here. So like for example here, you can see the red triangle and the purple, or the dark purple here, and with um, let's see, he used num2 in A.25, and it splits, like it splits this one in two, and it also split the light purple one in half. Another example here is, see how like with this red square, it splits that square, um, and it brings this half and this half together um, in another split. So if you look in J Wildfire at our trusty baseline grid, add it as a final. Going to zoom out a little bit. Now if we set this to, oops, I'm going to start just to set this by 0. Basically has no effect. So with A is at 0, num at 1, basically acts just as a uh, linear almost. So if we increase the A, now you see it took the red that was up here and it's splitting it over here. So this is just one wedge. So now if we add another wedge, you see it keeps splitting and splitting. So here I have it about 0.5-ish on A. Have num set at 4. So basically this is kind of what he did with this demonstration here. Of course you can increase this as much as you want. The higher this is, the more wedge shapes you will get. But this on A, it only works between 0 and 1. After that, it has no effect. So we're going to try a few other examples here. If we use a DC carpet, we're going to bring that down to 0.5. Having some keyboard problems, I have to use this here. Right, exactly at 0.5. Going to use a different gradient and zoom in on it. Make it a little extra brighter so you guys can see. And then if we add a linked transform, go up to Collideoscope. I don't know if I am saying that entirely correctly. And then if we go to DC carpet, color, we want to make that hidden. So basically we're just seeing the effect of the kaleidoscope. If we look at the chaos, it's going, the kaleidoscope is going to the carpet, and the carpet is going straight to the kaleidoscope, which is just your basic linked variation. So if we again set this to 0, you see we have basically the same thing we had with the carpet. And so this is going to add the rotation of the, more or less, yeah, the rotation of the wedges. And just going to add wedges. Then of course we can change it around here some. If you rotate the triangle, move it around, get some really cool effects. If you make it too big, you see it overlaps, and sometimes that can be a cool effect. Sometimes people think overlapping is bad, but sometimes it can be cool. And just play around with it some. Try adjusting. Oh. Remember, that's only A only works between 0 and 1. Another cool example here that I have found is if we start with a Julian. Make some adjustments. And this time we're just going to add a regular variation. And select the kaleidoscope again. Then we just shrink that down once. And we are going to increase the weight of it. Actually, I'm going to do it under the chaos tab. Chaos tab. Actually, I'm going to shrink it down a little more. But that's right. I also want somewhat high power, so we're going to set this to 12. That's why it's missing. Okay. And as you see, nothing is really happening yet. Going to change some colors here. It doesn't look like the color has any effect, but it's just going around in a circle. So if we move it, now you see how how the wedges are working off of the Julia. And you can adjust the weights. To add some texture to uh, the fractal here. If it's too much, we can always lower. Or just the distortion on the drilling a little to fill in the gaps. Actually, I think I'm going to increase this a little bit. The fine tune. Fine tune is very handy when you want to just use some more precise adjustments by hand. Let's increase the number of wedges. Until we get something that we like. And you can always adjust the weights. Of course, adding the weights, adjusting the weights here would be the same as adjusting them up here, but they work on that variation in just a uh, different way, which is the wonderful world of chaos. And of course, there are other possibilities where you can use it, but hopefully I have given you a few places to start, and I hope you have fun exploring the Kaleidoscope variation. Until next time, talk to you later. Bye.